Mega Dads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Mega Dads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Mega Dads Live. I am one of your hosts, Hypecaster, and I am here with my best bud, Clay. Adam is on vacation, okay? He's out. We're in, and we're about to dial it up to 11 because it is Saturday morning. At the time of this recording, we record at all times. You know, sometimes it's not, but today is a Saturday morning, and I was reminded, Clay, about Saturday morning cartoons. And today we're going to be talking about a game that's like related tangentially to cartoons. My favorite, just if you ask me top of my head, the first two that come to my mind are Rocko's Modern Life and Real Monsters. And if you know, you know.
Solid
so that's what comes to mind when you talk about Saturday morning cartoons. How about you?
For me, a lot of things pop into my mind, but I think honestly for me, my number one, something that I think will always be a classic and something that I don't think a lot of people ever argue with, would be Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, you beat me out. You beat me out because yes.
Yeah, I don't think I caught the original running of it. I didn't realize this until I was a lot older, but I think this show came out in the late 80s and early 90s, and I was still like a little baby when that was like first originally airing. But I still think that I was catching the reruns that were happening like on Cartoon Network or whatever, and so it felt like it was coming out for the first time when I was watching it. But man, I love that show, and even to this day I'll watch it, and it's just a solid show, and actually kind of fits with the game we're talking about today, where it was a darker show and had some more mature elements to it, but still just was enjoyable to watch as a kid and didn't really scare me, and it was just, oh man, it made me a Batman fan for life. So that one really hits home still to this day.
It has one of the most iconic art styles. You know, you really did beat me out with that selection because it's so entrenched with like my childhood. It's like I knew at the time, you know, as a kid, you're like, oh, this is cool or whatever. But like that art, you knew as a child that it was gonna be like the way that you would always remember Batman. It was that like impactful. For Real Monsters, like that comes to mind just because it was like, I don't like a lot of like dark humor or whatever, but that was so like weird and twisted, and they had all the like the guy with holding the eyeballs with his hands or whatever.
Yep.
And even to this day, like you look back and you're like, was that as weird as I thought it was as a kid? And you look at it as an adult and it's even weirder than that. You're like, oh, one of them's like a stick, and it's like, and we watched this and we just like went with it. The favorite moment of that was the Super Bowl because they live in the sewer. So at halftime, all the humans run to the bathroom and flush the toilet, and then there's like a big wave, and the monsters in the sewer are like having a competition because they know that it's going to be a wave of wastewater going through their
That's an actual episode?
That's an episode, and they're like
awesome.
They're racing to like survive. It's like Hunger Games. It's like who can get to the end of the wave first and survive. And it was like an action / real funny like commentary one. So that's what I'll always remember that cartoon for. So that was that's pretty awesome. The other one was Rocko's Modern Life, just again because it was like kind of that weird with like.
Dude, I love Rocko. I actually like I've seen a lot more Rocko than I have Monsters, Real Monsters, but I love Rocko's Modern Life. That show's fantastic. It still holds up today. It's a really good one.
Yeah, I think that it's like some of these are like iconic, and cartoons can be done like really well. And today we are going to be talking about a game, and that's Mouse P.I for Hire. It's a noir-inspired first-person shooter. This game is developed by Fumi Games and published by Playside Studios. and it is available on Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC as of April 16th. Yeah, $29.99 for this one. I wanted to ask you three big questions about the game. Like, I'm excited about this because I did not have this on my radar too much, and I only saw like a trailer with no sound, and I kind of went in dark. So my big three questions are, if you could talk about the music. I hear the story is good, but I'm really interested in the gameplay. Like, what other like shooter games does it feel like? Because I have no idea. And then does like the theme get old? So what did you think of the game? Just anything.
Yeah. So overall, the visuals are really the heavy hitter in this, which I mean you can tell looking at a trailer for 10 seconds whether or not like you're gonna enjoy this game or not. I'm not saying that I'm not
Kinda
saying the
gives it all
graphics
away.
right. I'm not saying the graphics are like the only thing good about it. It's not that that's its only heavy hitting, but I mean the storyline is fine. I wouldn't say it's like the most groundbreaking storyline in the world. Maybe hardcore noir enthusiasts would argue that it's not true noir or something, but someone like me who doesn't really play a lot of these style of games, like I feel like it ticks all the boxes of what you're looking for. You're a private investigator for hire. You're trying to follow clues and like solve a mystery, and you're like tough and dark and mysterious. Like, I mean, I don't know. It
I hear
feels
it's
right
well
to me.
done. Yeah, but I hear good things about that part.
Yeah.
That got out there early. They're like, surprisingly great story. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. The music is very, with the times, big band, old school jazz kind of style. And so feels very Cuphead. I would say there was only been a couple times where I've actually like thought about the music. And if, I think there was one part where I was like supposed to be fighting bad guys and the music was really intense, but there was no one to fight. And so I was like, why is this music still playing? And so it just felt a little out of place. Yeah, maybe. But so maybe not as catchy as Cuphead in my opinion, but still really good and very similar, I would say. I guess if I had to pick a game that I feel like this closely kind of follows, it would be more like a Doom type game
okay.
where you're
I had no idea. Okay, so Doom.
It's pretty linear, but there is some exploration to it. There's secret areas that you're trying to find with hidden collectibles and stuff. But then you go into these main areas and you fight bad guys, and then eventually you kill enough bad guys, and then that area it calms down, and you can loot and you heal up and find ammo and stuff, and then you move on to the next area. There's some puzzles, I guess, at times, and exploration to a small degree. There's a big map area where you drive your car around, and it kind of feels like Cuphead, where it's more of like a top-down
That's awesome.
cartoon map view. Really nice. Yeah, really well done there. And so yeah, it's pretty linear, but there's also like side quests and stuff that you can do. But that's what I would best describe it as, is it kind of feels like Doom or something.
The word on the street was that this was like possible because of like the IP like coming up for like some type of like release now. It's like, oh, they can't tell a Steamboat Willie like
Right,
cartoon
Steamboat
style
Willie.
is theirs.
Right.
That can be anyone's. I mean, that was like rumored. Would you say that the theme though like gets old after a while, or is it like, oh, this animation and this style works so much? Because when I saw the game, I was like, okay, it's like not in a pejorative way, but like a gimmick, right? It's like, oh, it's a very like themed visual game, like a Borderlands or like Cuphead, like something like that. Does it get old, or is it like kind of stick?
I'm not sick of it by any means. I don't think it gets old, but I mean, if you get sick of it real fast, I would say like, why would you buy this game then? Like, it's kind of the whole point. And I mean, I would never buy this game just because you love first-person shooters. Like, I mean, it's a very unique first-person shooter, and so like I could see maybe you being like, I don't know, it just seemed interesting. It was different, but I mean, they're not necessarily doing anything super unique gameplay wise, but it's all about the aesthetic, and it's all about the art style and the narrative and kind of some of the the puns that you get. There's a lot of cheese and mice puns
I like
thrown
that
in.
though. Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
so
good.
if that doesn't do anything for you though, then like I don't know what to tell you. Like this isn't for you. But I'm enjoying it, and I'm still enjoying seeing new gameplay mechanics being added, new weapons being unlocked, and so as you discover new areas, you get new weapons, just like you do in Doom. And so it's kind of like you just kind of keep playing through, hoping to see what's next. There's new enemy types. And so it's just exciting to see what comes next. And I'm not expecting to be blown away at the end and be like, wow, they introduced this new gameplay mechanic that totally flips everything on its head. Like, it's going to be a similar experience through and through. But I mean, for an indie game, it feels pretty polished. And I've been excited about this game for a long time. I've been ever since it was first announced. I don't know how long ago that was. Immediately was like, I'm here for the rubber hose style. I'm a big fan of that animation style. Loved Cuphead. I love old school animation. I love new animation. And so ever since they announced this, it's always been something I was like, oh, I can't wait for that to come out. But sometimes when indie games get announced, you go in with low expectations because it is an indie developer. And so you don't know how, if it's like one dude putting this all together or if it's a full team. And so once it got a little bit closer to this game coming out, we started seeing more hands-on with it. We started seeing people getting to play parts of it, and all of a sudden I started hearing, oh, this might actually be a really good game. Like it doesn't just look nice, like it's actually
Yeah.
fun. And so then I got really excited and was like, oh, I'm super. And so I think some people maybe lose sight of the fact that it's an indie game and I don't know. I try not to read it too much into the hype, but I feel like it was getting some negative reviews and stuff, and I just haven't experienced that. I think for what it is, for it being an indie game, I'm actually really impressed and think that they've done a great job with this. And I think people are maybe holding it a little bit too high of a standard for it being an indie game like this. But it's not that expensive of a game either. And so I think for what I paid for this, I'm more than happy with what I've played so far. I think they've done a great job with this, and I'm sure a couple updates and a few fixes here and there. And that, not that I've even found anything that has needed fixing at this point, except maybe that sound thing I was talking about. So yeah,
Oh, you played this on what?
Xbox Series
Okay.
X. Yeah,
Okay, cool. So, like, I was wondering about performance, and it was like Nintendo Switch 2 targets 60 frames per second, 900p in performance handheld mode. That's like not bad for that. And then dock 1080p, 60 frames per second, or
yeah. I was
1440p, 40.
considering getting it on Switch. I had thought
Yeah,
about it, but I ended up getting it on Xbox after all. So
on PC, typically 60 to 120 frames per second at 4K. Nice, let's go. Man, this might be a good one for PC, right? Because I mean, it really does add to that like fluidity. And then I like it. I just don't know if I love it, and like that's why I was wondering like if it would outlast its welcome. So I think you really do have to like be in it to like have that fun of that like whimsy of what's going on, because of the it has a fully hand drawn black and white the rubber hose animation, like 1930s cartoons.
yep.
It's good. I
Yeah, and
like it. Like I like it.
I could see this game, dropping in price relatively quick. It's a single player experience, so once you kind of play through it, it's one of those that once you play through it once or twice, maybe even just once, you'll be good, And so I could see this going on sale a year from now, and might be one you throw in your Steam library. If it doesn't like blow you away, if you're not like, oh, I have to play this, like it could be a good one to pick up down the road and play here and there occasionally, and then put away for a little bit. Like it's easy to pick up and play in small bits, and you don't really ever get lost. There's a button you can press that kind of shows you the direction to go. So
Oh
it,
yeah, yeah, I saw a video of that. Yeah, no, that looked cool. I like that though. I hate
yeah,
fumbling around. Like I played Hexen recently. Speaking of Doom and these older shooters, I played Hexen. I played like this other like remake or whatever, and it was this old school style of like you're in these arenas and like going down these hallways, and there's buttons and like where to go, and they take it one step too far with that like old school like design where you get lost, and I hate that. So I did see the guiding thing. I see that as a plus. Um,
yeah.
I like Doom, and I like the classic Doom gameplay, and I start to get it, especially the more you like read about from others what their opinion is of what makes it great. For this though, are the weapons good? Like, are you shooting cartoon like bullets, or like what kind of weaponry is it?
Well, it's funny you asked that. First off, you are shooting cartoon bullets. In fact, every time you switch your gun, on the bottom right corner of the screen, a different ammo type is represented, and the bullets have little faces.
No,
So the
I didn't
pistol,
see that part.
the little pistol, he's like missing a tooth, and he's like kind of like got some scruff, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a bullet." And then you switch to the shotgun shells, and it's got like a different cartoon face,
No, I'm in.
which is pretty awesome.
I'm in. I think I'm gonna go buy this on Switch too. Dude, that's like the Who Framed Roger Rabbit like scene, right? Where the bullets are alive. They do it like that.
Well, I mean, and then you see it in the little corner represents what ammo type you're using, but then once
Oh.
you start actually shooting, then it's just like shooting a real gun. Like you don't see the cartoon bullet like
Oh.
flying or anything, but it's just a cool little representation in the corner of which ammo you're using. But it's just a nice little extra touch, and I appreciate that about it.
That
but
is cool.
I've unlocked 3 guns so far. I don't think any of them are probably spoiler at this point. I have no idea. There's a weapons dial, so you can see how many weapons you're going to unlock, and there's a lot. I thought it was just going to be pistol, shotgun, and Tommy gun, but it's not. It's actually more than that, and so I don't even know what all of them are. There's one. I don't think this is a spoiler to say, but there's one weapon I've unlocked. It like shoots this like liquid, and I wasn't sure what it was at
What?
first, but it's varnish. And so
What?
it kind of feels like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type thing where you're
The dip?
you're covered. Yeah, it kind of feels like the dip where you're
Are
covering
you
them in this stuff,
serious?
and they basically just it makes them like acid basically, and so it turns them into like a skeleton, and then they just turn to mush. And so I thought that was kind of cool. Oh, and you get a TNT, so instead of like grenades, you throw these sticks of TNT, and so it's just really unique. And all the guns aren't. It's not named pistol, shotgun.
Right.
It's the shotgun's named boomstick. The Tommy gun is called the James gun, which I don't know if that's a reference to the director or if they're just trying to like Tommy, James. Like I don't know, but I appreciate that. Like they went for really unique
Whimsy.
things. Whimsy, yeah.
I
Instead
like
of like
whimsy.
instead of popping med kits, you just eat a piece of cheese. And so it's all themed really well, and it's all kind of they're really leaning into it. And so I appreciate that about it. All their names, the voice acting in this is really good. Troy Baker is the main character. I don't know if you know who that voice actor is.
Yeah,
He-
yeah. I was
very,
just reading that.
very
Yeah.
popular. I think he plays Joel in Last of Us. And
He plays
he's-
like
he's in
89
everything.
to 90%.
Right.
of
I think
everything.
he's Booker DeWitt and in BioShock Infinite. Like dude's all over the place.
He's everything, yeah.
One thing I did want to give a shout out about, I really appreciated this. When you start a new game, it lets you pick kind of the visual style that you want, and you can add more or less like film grain. You can
Nice.
add more or less like
That's
blur, like
Yeah.
where it feels more old school. And so you can kind of pick how much of that you want. You can turn blood on and off, which I don't have anything against blood, but the blood almost kind of feels a little too like not real for like the cartoon anime. Anyway,
Is
it's
the blood red? 'Cause
no, it's black, but
that's weird. Everybody's just bleeding black blood everywhere.
yeah.
That's terrible.
But-
No, I'll turn that off. That's some weird shit.
If you want it to feel a little more cartoony, you can turn it off. But anyway, I appreciated the options that you could turn things on and off and tweak things, and so you can pick between just easy, medium, and hard for now. Maybe there's an extra difficulty mode. I don't know. I set it to medium. It started out a little too easy, where there's just a lot of stuff on the ground, weapons and heals everywhere. But it does get more difficult. I eventually got to like the second or third boss, and I actually died once trying to beat it, and then beat the boss on my second time, and I had like 3 health left, so it was like a nail biter.
Oh,
And so
no.
there is some challenge. It does pick up a little bit, but it
That's
never
good.
so far hasn't seemed too impossible. I've played through, it feels like I played through half of it, but I look at the map and there's still a ton of areas that I haven't unlocked, and so it feels like there's a lot of game here. It doesn't feel like a small amount. It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm getting gypped. And so I think what you get for what you pay, it feels like a lot. You do eventually get to a point where you can upgrade your weapons, It's not like the most robust upgrade system, but there is a place where you can go buy upgrades, and so that feels nice. And there's some like upgrades to your character too, where you can like increase your melee damage, things like that. And so there, it does feel like they've added enough stuff where, and then there's a lot of exploration and collectibles that you can get. There's little comic books that you can find hidden, and there's little like trading cards or like baseball cards that you can find. And so honestly, I probably would play through this game a lot faster, but I'm one of those people that just can't move on until I've like searched for hidden areas and
Oh,
stuff. And
okay.
so
Yeah, that makes
it
sense.
definitely slows you down, and it makes the game feel a little like I'm probably playing a lot slower than if I would just kind of zoom through this and try to keep looking for where the next areas to head to. Which I don't, you either like that or you don't. If you don't care about finding all the hidden things, you can just kind of zoom through it probably a lot quicker. But I like looking for hidden areas and places that you can get to, and so I'm having a great time with it. And
How do you unlock the weapons? Like, cause that's intriguing to me. That part where you're like, oh, you have so many weapon arms. So, like, if I'm doing that, is it based on collectibles or is it based on like just you're just always gonna unlock it as quick as you are?
it's like Bioshock. You're just playing through levels, and all of a sudden you'll walk up and there's a Tommy gun laying there on a table, and you pick it up and you're like, all right, like I got my gun.
Now
And,
I
like,
got this. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so you
like
can't
Doom
you
or
can't
whatever.
miss. Yeah,
It's like
you
it's
can't
in a
miss
case.
it. It's
It
built
has a
in.
spotlight on it.
Yep, yep. You
That
know
is
it's
fun
there.
though, man. I kind of miss that. Yeah, like in Bioshock or in like other games like that when these would be introduced. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. You can't beat this price point, the $29.99. It's like it feels like one of those games that it would be like an instant, like you know, even a $5 discount, it would be enough to put you over the edge, which is interesting. And I mean, maybe that's like the economy, maybe that's inflation. I don't know, but like it's like right on the edge. But because of the high performance and like you're saying that you like it, I mean, I think that's enough there, because what more do you need, right? People, it's like some whimsy, cool visual, like decent gameplay too. No,
Yeah,
that's good.
it's one of those you can just sit down and kind of play. You don't really need to like overthink it. It's casual. It's not the most complex or deep thing. It's not like if you're not listening, you're gonna like miss something really. And so I was playing it last night. Had to work at an event at my job, and there was some people casually. I brought my Xbox with me because I had a bunch of downtime, and every now and then somebody would walk in, and they were always just like, what are you playing? And they would just stop what they were doing and look at it. Like it's
Hmm.
people, I don't know, it's just the art style is very like whimsical and unique, and so people haven't seen anything like this unless you've seen like Cuphead or something.
Hmm.
And so it grabs people's attention. It's very eye grabbing, and it's easy to look at, and it makes you kind of happy just to look at it. And so yeah, it's just everybody kind of likes this type of thing. It's really easy to just find yourself staring at it. So
Man, you put me over the edge. Oh no. Oh no, the FOMO. It has me per always. There's something that like we don't talk about enough, and now that uh my daughter's getting older and she's playing the games, asking about the recommendation for children. If you have the blood off, you're still like blowing people away with bullets, right? There's just like
yeah,
no blood.
it's more cartoony. When they die, they fall into a little pile of ash, and they have little cartoon eyes sticking out of the pile
Oh.
of ash.
Oh.
But then like the dialogue is maybe a little more like there's like occasional curse words, but it's
Oh,
like
really? All right, never mind.
it's
I
more
was like,
like
can my small child play this?
it's less of like it's not
No.
like F bombs and like S words. It's more like hell
Oh,
and stuff like that. So
grime.
it's a little more mature, I would say, the themes, but it's not, so far it hasn't been like overly adult. There's one character she's just cut in half. I think she used to work for a magician,
Oh
and so
no.
she's just sliced in half, and you're talking to her, she's still alive. It's just so like it's right on the edge. I would say maybe if I'm not I don't have like adult kids, or I don't have human kids, so I don't know, but like maybe younger kids could handle this, but maybe for younger ones maybe not. I would
I'm gonna
say
advise against it. I just found a screenshot of that goo gun thing. That's like the dip, like, and it's like melting like acid, and it looks like, oh
yeah,
no,
they go down to like bones, right? I think
yeah,
it like it,
yeah. It looks like not like that crazy, but like in Indiana Jones or whatever, where his face melts, like a little bit
Yeah,
like
I
that,
think it's called
just a little
varnish.
bit.
I think they say it's varnish, and
Yeah,
so
it's a little too much.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but still, it seems like a really good game. Awesome.
Yeah.
You know what that sound is, everybody? That is the caboose, where we give you a recommendation outside of the world of video games. It could be inside, but it could be outside as well. And I wanted to see if you would talk about your handheld, Clay. You got a new one, and something that I love and respect about you is your handheld addiction. Gaming handhelds are so interesting. I just have one, but you get a new one every now and then. What is your latest one?
Yes. So the most recent one I picked up is called the Miu Mini Flip. It's spelled Miyooo. Miu is the brand, and they have the Mini Flip, which is basically looks exactly like a Game Boy Advance SP, where it's got the clamshell that you flip up, but it's smaller. And so it's the mini version. They have a full size one that's more accurate to the size of an SP, but this is a smaller version. And so the scale is really hard to like show it until you actually see it in person. Like I have a buddy of mine that I'm real close with, and we like handhelds, and we always talk about them. It wasn't until I showed it to him that he was like, it's this small. And so there's no room for any kind of analog stick. It's just a D-pad and 4 buttons. You got, I think, 4 triggers up in the corner, up top, and a start and select. And so very similar. There, some of these clamshells they add like thumbsticks, but this one you just get the D-pad. And so really up to like PlayStation 1. I wouldn't recommend playing N64 on this thing, but it could run it. But it can run up to PS1 without any issues. Most of these come pre-stocked, pre-loaded with different games. There's different colors. They've got a pink one, a yellow one, a black one, a gray one, and then I got this white one. And then the buttons are like pastel colors. There's like pink, yellow, light blue, and light green. It kind of gives like an Easter vibe. I don't know. It's a little bit girly. They're kind of girly-ish colors, I guess, if you want to say girly, whatever. But like,
I love this one.
I do too. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's different. I don't have a lot of handhelds that have bright colors like that, and so I was like, oh, I'll try something different. And so I picked it up. It's not that expensive. It's listed on their website for $60.
It's on sale right now. Miu Mini Flip is $59.99, and it comes in really cool colors, and it's a handheld console, 2.8-inch display, 750 by 560 HD IPS screen. So that's, it's a real tight console, meant for the like 4x3 games, and it's like cute, and sometimes that's all you need. I carry a Anbernic Cube, I believe, and it's like I have it in my pocket all the time. So like when you just pull these out and you're able to like game just a little bit, like I've been playing, through some Pokemon, playing it like NHL 94, like stuff like that.
Nice.
This one, like the feel of it and the colors it comes in just gives off that like classic like vibe. So I assume it's uncomfortable after like just a little while, right?
Yeah,
it's a cramped thing. It's
right.
Meant to be like real quick,
Yep. It's short playthroughs, not hours of long play and stuff on it, which is kind of how I set it up. I set it up to be a quick, you're right. You don't want to play this thing long term, but for the time that I'm casually picking it up, it works just fine. But yeah, I'm sure if I played it for too long, it would get really cramped. And so it comes stock with its own firmware. The firmware it comes with is okay. If you don't really know anything about these handhelds or how to like flash your own firmware onto it, you could be just fine with what it comes with. And the preloaded games are fine too. But I took it, and I have enough experience with these things. I flashed my own firmware onto it, kind of a minimalist soft firmware where it just kind of simplified everything. And then I tried something new that I've never done before. Instead of just putting thousands of games on this and just scrolling through and never knowing, what game to play, I decided to pick 5 games for each console that I wanted to play, either games that I really like or games that I've never played before. And I only loaded 5 games of each console. And so that way it would just kind of minimize my options and maybe help me pick something instead of just like doom scrolling through options all day. And so I can't report back yet on if I like that or not. I haven't got to mess with it enough, but that's kind of the thing I'm trying now is less game options, but enough that I have some variety. If I'm not feeling something, I've got different options. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm trying this new thing now where I'm carrying a smaller backpack with me everywhere I go so that I can
Yeah.
bring stuff like this with me and not have to have it in my pockets. We're it's frowned upon in society for whatever reason for men to carry purses, and so
Why? Who
I'm dude.
says that's some
I'm on
sexist
board
shit?
for I know, right? I'm all on board for dudes carrying purses because
Dude,
I
I have like a little bag. I'll do a fanny pack.
I love
Yo,
a good fanny pack,
if I
bro.
had one, I'd be wearing it. Maybe I should just get one. That's it. The fannies are in. They have those little ones like a handheld console like that goes like here or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'll do whatever. I don't care, man. I'm gonna have a fly purse.
Right. We're like I'm almost 40 at this point. Like I don't really care what people think of me, but I found a backpack that didn't look completely ridiculous on me. And I'm like, yeah, this will work. And so I carry all my electronic things in there.
Yep.
And instead of just doing everything on my phone, I've got a little e-reader and I've got my little Miu Mini Flip. And so if I have 5 or 10 minutes, I bust it out and play a game on it. And it's fun. So I enjoy it. And I think, I don't know, sometimes I feel silly, like just because I have 5 minutes at a park to sit down, should I flip out video games? It's like, what
I
the
do
hell?
it all
Like,
the time,
who
dude.
cares, dude?
I
Like,
Dude, on the bus, train, like whatever, like
yeah.
it's so freeing. And there's something to be said about like, hey, being alone with your thoughts or like, all that. But like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, let me just like enjoy some classics because when you dip into these, it gives you an excuse to dip into these catalog of older games, and that's your like nostalgia like fix for the day. And those are really good. There are a number, like you said, of just good stuff out there, and then there's just interesting stuff, and that's what you taught me. It's like you look back at the things you never played, and like there's great music at the very least in like so many of these games, the colors, like stuff like that. Like you just appreciate the games on another level. So I too recommend the Miu Mini Flip or some type of handheld. I would get them while they're get them on sale or whatever, something like that. But really good. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another exciting episode of Mega Dads Live. Whether you listened 1,000 times or this is your first time, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time for more gaming stuff all the time. Thank you, Clay, for being here. Appreciate it. We rocked out. Turned it to
Yeah,
11.
man.